I hate the Dark Sea. Arguably one of the greatest concepts within Arcane Odyssey. As of right now, it stands as a poorly designed, poor performing, infuriating area of the game that yields no real reward for how much struggle and insanity you go through whilst navigating it. In this video, I'll be telling you mostly everything that I think is wrong with the Dark Sea, and offer up a few suggestions of how to fix it at the end of the video. But firstly, you guys know the drill, let's not completely doom post here, and allow me to list some of the things I do like about the Dark Sea. Warning, it's not a lot. Athena's Wisdom. If we're talking solely about Athena's Wisdom as a piece of content and not the fact that you need to aimlessly sail around to find pieces of it at Siren Rocks while your ship's HP gets drained by acid wave after acid wave, it's pretty good. I think it fleshes out the world better, and it gives players an alternative to just going onto the Arcane Odyssey wiki for information about the world, although that would just be easier to do. And the reward at the end, the sensing upgrade, not great, but not terrible either. I have no complaints about it. The Epicenter. Now okay guys, I know probably everyone watching this video absolutely hates the journey to the Epicenter and thinks the payoff for it is not worth it. But I think if we're looking solely at the Epicenter, it's pretty neat. It's cool that we have such a significant piece of lore in the game already, and we can see the remnants of what caused the current world to be the way it is. And that does it for the things I like. And putting a disclaimer, some of the things I say can more or less be viewed as an issue with Arcane Odyssey as a whole. But at the same time, these issues are prominent enough to where I can tack them on as negatives for the Dark Sea, considering the quality of the Dark Sea is actively decreased due to these issues. With that out of the way, let's get into why I hate the Dark Sea. I would rather get jumped by 5 burly men wearing brass knuckles outside of a Burger King and then go home to catch my wife cheating on me than have to navigate the Dark Sea for more than 30 minutes in modern Arcane Odyssey. And I'm not even exaggerating. I was less mad losing to Widow in Hollow Knight Silksong 30 times straight than I was going to the Dark Sea trying to find Athena's Wisdom entries. It sucks! And why am I saying all of this? Because the payoff is just not worth it. The difficulty of the Dark Sea barely scales off of the level of insanity you're in. So there are times where you get hit by acid wave after acid wave after acid wave, and it absolutely demolishes your ship. Hold on, you looked away from your screen for 1 second? Now you're in a fucking shadow tornado that just spawned in front of you. Now I am aware that as of making this video, vetex has made the hitbox for tornadoes smaller, but even still, this shit is ridiculous. If for some reason you're grinding loot in the Dark Sea, God bless your soul, every other form of exploration is immediately peeled away because of Siren Rocks and them holding 3 chests within. There is quite literally no other reason to explore the Dark Sea unless you're trying to find Molly, which even then I'm almost positive people are just going to go onto the auction and buy it instead of going into the Dark Sea for it. Actually, matter of fact, beyond searching for the Omen or Athena's Wisdom, there is no reason to go into the Dark Sea or explore it. Hecate Essence has basically been made useless due to the Magic Reset Game Pass. Yes, I and many others would rather pay 2,000 Robux than search for it in the Dark Sea in modern Arcane Odyssey. And you can get rewarded dark sealed chests from dailies, milestone points, and your fleet, as well as get rewarded with Dark Sea catalysts and reagents also from your fleet. Which, to be fair, thank you to vetex for making this a thing, because I'd rather move to Tel Aviv than sail on the Dark Sea again. But if we're talking about the Dark Sea as a mechanic, it basically makes going there pointless, which in turn makes the Dark Sea pointless after you kill the Omen, get all of Athena's Wisdom, and any other minor thing that you need. And yes guys, a mechanic as big and as pivotal to the lore of the game as the Dark Sea being pretty much pointless after doing all of the equally as shitty side quests in the Dark Sea is a bad thing, especially when you consider the fact that the main point of the Dark Sea is exploration, as is debatably the main point of Arcane Odyssey as a whole. Now surprisingly, on my last video, some of you seem to not think performance was much of an issue. That is cope. I'm telling you right now, that is cope. I haven't run into a single person where one of their complaints about Arcane Odyssey wasn't performance. I quite literally had a friend whose entire experience for full release was ruined due to performance. And oh brother, for everyone saying, this is more of an Arcane Odyssey issue, not a Dark Sea issue, listen, just listen to me. When your game runs like a 1960s Soviet radioisotope generator, it becomes an issue not just for the game, but an issue for every piece of content within the game. Why are bosses terrible? Performance. Why is ship navigation laggy and anger-inducing? Performance. You see what I'm getting at here? We can use this logic for the Dark Sea, but it's even more justified when you realize that the Dark Sea takes the terrible performance of Arcane Odyssey and amplifies it tenfold. When I'm driving my ship through the Dark Sea, try steering it, and the command to steer it doesn't go through until 10 seconds later, can you see why that would make me a little angry? And you know what? I know I said this can be seen as a Dark Sea issue as well, but at the core, the very core, stripping everything I just said away, just taking it all out, the issue comes from the fact that it is an Arcane Odyssey issue that needs fixed. If this issue was fixed, it would not be like a negative that you can tack on for every other piece of content. Like, desperately, Arcane Odyssey's performance needs fixed. You hear me, vetex? If I had a quarter for every story of doom, destruction, sadness, and utter unholiness and damnation from people searching for and fighting the Omen, I'd be rich enough to buy Arcane Odyssey from vetex. One of my friends put it perfectly. If you told me vetex was the only person who made the Omen fight, I'd believe you, because that boss is genuinely designed to rage bait the player. Well said, Crayon Muncher. He's completely right. Searching for the Omen in itself is something I wouldn't wish upon even my greatest enemy. And fighting the Omen will ensure that you forever hold malice and hatred in your heart for Arcane Odyssey and vetex. From damage glitches to unbelievable RNG for spawn rates, it's shit. For that matter, Kraken spawning in the Dark Sea have made navigating it even worse. The amount of times I had a Kraken spawn on me while trying to find stuff in the Dark Sea for full release was fucking ridiculous. Say goodbye to your ship's HP. I don't really have many complaints for the animals or Atlanteans, other than the fact that they're just really uninteresting. When I go into the Dark Sea for loot, I don't go on regular islands anyways, so they aren't really an issue to me. I feel like they'll be expanded upon in the future, but as of right now, they're just kind of there. Okay, I'm done ranting. If you're still watching and haven't yet dropped a comment calling me a vapid doom-posting mentally declined scumbag already, thank you. Suffice to say, the Dark Sea fucking sucks. Big shocker. But what kind of man would I be if I didn't at least offer some ways, in my opinion, that it could be fixed? First of all, going back to an earlier point in the video, the difficulty of the Dark Sea should scale more off of what range you're in. There is no reason that my ship should take 5,000 HP worth of damage in like 20 minutes in the first range of the Dark Sea as soon as you go into it. It needs to be a progressive system. Not just with the Atlanteans and other mobs, but with the occurrence of sea events as well. Now, I'm not just saying completely turn the starting range of the Dark Sea into a Weenie Hut Juniors, but you can definitely make it a little less aneurysm-inducing to explore. I can already imagine a vetex response to this point in my head. Just get better at the game, it's supposed to be hard. Yeah, I'd accept it being hard if it had good rewards. Perfect segue into my next point. The Dark Sea needs to have better incentive to go into it. Now yes guys, I am aware, the Dark Sea is very unfinished and has a lot of content planned for it, which is a good thing. But I'm saying it needs content that will keep people coming back that isn't just side quests or daily quests or anything of the matter. There needs to be more items that can only be found in the Dark Sea, but not as rare as things such as Hecate, so that it doesn't give whoever's trying to find said items an absolute aneurysm. Assuming by this point my first fix was taken into account, it'll be less terrible for people to go into the Dark Sea to find these items. I'm talking even more rare reagents or catalysts that can't be found by your fleet, more aesthetically pleasing armor sets, bosses with more drops than just armor, that aren't buggy, broken, ragebait RNG spawning messes, more things like Athena's Wisdom, assuming my first fix was added, and upon adding all of these, you've already made the Dark Sea a better place than what it once was. Also, remove these giant walls. These were literally added for ragebait purposes, and I refuse to believe otherwise. Islands should also be given more loot so that exploring them actually has a purpose. Whether it be more chests, more reagents, more anything, they need a reason for people to go onto them. The Dark Sea is very limited in exploration aspects right now. Luckily for us though, in the future, we are getting Dark Sea Abyss exploration and Sky exploration, which is great. But like I said, for these to be viable, there needs to be a greater incentive to even explore them in the first place. If they're just copy and pasted islands that you can find anywhere in the Dark Sea, I'm going to not be so happy. And I don't think any of you are either. So there you have it, folks. As I said before, I know a lot of content is planned for the Dark Sea, but it's been out for 2 years already and it is still just shit. I firmly believe that the Dark Sea can unironically be the best feature in Arcane Odyssey if it's flipped around 180 degrees from what it is now. It's a very interesting area of the game that Vetex can make really special if he utilizes it to its full potential. As it stands right now though, I just hate it, bro. I hate it. But hey, Vetex knows best, right? Right? I'm sure he'll find a way to make it better, right guys? Right? He's not to blame for this issue or any other issue in Arcane Odyssey, right guys? Right? Anyways, that'll do it for today. Dr. Electro out.